Hello everyone, today we're building the Brocken Gigant Premium FA chassis. It says snap together, no glue required, but you do need two AA batteries which are not included to be able to use this. So yeah, it's FMA chassis. It looks pretty cool. My son decided to choose this one. Again, there's a little view of the FMA chassis. You got the black on red, which is nice. This one is item number 19452, 1200. This is fully cowled. Looks pretty neat, so let's get into it. So as we open it, we get the usual suspects, stickers, which I absolutely hate. We do have the tires, rims. These are yellow. Should go good with the black and red, part of the chassis, and the rest of it, the rear, and then we have the body here, as well as grease, motor, connectors, gears, and things like that. So first, yeah, we'll just get everything out. We'll get it all cut out and stuff too. Things you might want to have, some clippers, screwdriver, I don't know if we need it, and then a box cutter and scissors, and then a little wrench. Usually they come with a little wrench if you need it. I don't think this one actually needs it though, so just a screwdriver is something you'll need. Some of them do come with screwdrivers, but this one does not. If you would like to see more of these, subscribe. I'll do them as often as I can, and then also upgrades and tune-ups to other types of builds, probably using the same cars that we do the stock builds of. So this is just a stock build, so everything that comes in, not everything because they do have extra parts sometimes, but what comes in this box is what we will use, and those can be used for stock races. So first we'll clip out the tires. They're a little less stuff to them, and they're pretty easy to put together. They're all the same. This is what makes these easier than with the little clippers. Then you don't have to worry about wiggling them in and out. And you can just start dropping these on like so. You can see there's a little nub here. For that, you can trim that up if you want. I won't waste time on the video just trimming off little pieces of that, or you can take sandpaper or a file to get those down as well. It's pretty easy. That would be the one thing I would advise trimming down, is the little nubs on the tires from it's just from the factory. It's how they're produced, so you can't really help that. On other places like the body, when you start clipping off pieces of that, this one all comes intact. When you start clipping off little pieces of that, I don't think it makes as big of a difference if you clip off the little edgings, but I do think the tires are a good idea to get clipped off. So here we have the screws. And this should be for the gear. I like to use a little dish like this just to keep everything in there. There's a bearing in there for some reason. It just helps keep things together. And then we have the axles. Usually they're pretty good. If they're not completely straight, there's a little thing you can get to test them. You can also just test them by getting the tires on and spinning them and see how they spin. And then you got this one. Got the gears. We'll save those until we do that. connectors, and here's for the back. It's a little dirty, and this one get clipped off here. These do have adjacent numbers, so we got B, and then they're all B, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I do believe you can see here this side's a little shorter than this side, so that's something that you might want to be careful with when putting it together. You wouldn't want to put a shorter one with a longer one, because then your car will be lopsided. So just as long as you make sure that these are the same length, so these two are the longer ones, so you can put those off over here, and these two are the shorter ones, which will probably be going on the front, I would assume. Okay, next we got the body. So we'll actually get the instructions out. So again, this is what they do recommend: screwdriver, modeling knife, cutters, and then you can paint however you like, and then the batteries, which are not included. They always have the stickers first on these. I'd say 99% of the time do stickers last, because they are the most annoying. And then from number 3, you can see that's where it starts to build out the body. So we'll start with that. We'll put this body aside, and this will actually come out next. So we can put all this stuff over here. We get this, and we got grease too. Okay, so let's get rocking with this. So here are the gears. On each one it tells you the ratio for the gears, I believe. So this one's 351 gear type, 130 motor, and here they are. So this part right here, this will go on the motor. So we can just throw that on there so we don't lose it. Just push it down so it sits flush right there with the little prong. You can put that aside for now. Alright, then we're going to take the orange gear and the yellow gear right here, and we're going to put them up front like so. The little nubs on them should be facing inwards like that. And then in the back we will have another orange one here, like so, and that will line up where you put the axles through. Then we're going to take this shaft, and there's a little piece right there. Put that underneath and get those lined up so you can see that sitting in there. That one doesn't sit too good on the bottom, so just kind of wiggle it a little bit and it should go. And then so this will spin from the motor. Alrighty then. And what they do recommend is taking a little bit of this grease and plopping it on down here where that sits. You can actually just kind of grease up the whole thing if you want. It will help the gears turn a little better. You can give that a couple runs through with your finger to get that separated a little bit. But once you just start running it, it should be good to go. Alright, Next we'll get the connectors, the terminal plates, and get those in. So this one comes with 3 here. 2 will connect to the motor, and 1 will connect down towards the backside down here. And you can see a little nub right there, and then there's a little indent here, which will go over it. So this will connect, not connect, but slip in. Should just go right on in, if you're not butterfingers like I am. Hold on 1 sec. Alright, I had to take care of the bird. So on that little nub in there, I pointed to that one, I meant this one. Right here, there's 2 of them actually, and it just goes around there, and that will connect the on and off switch. The one behind it is for the on and off switch. So that one is this on here. This is a looks like 12. So we'll clip him out. Alright. Then we want to line that up. There's a little hole, like so. It just sits in there, and then when you turn that, this will push that to connect to the batteries. Throw away the trash. Okay. And next up, what we're going to do is put on the tires. So here we have axles. So it's easiest if you just put a little bit on there. And then what we're going to do is take 4 of these. These are bearings. That one just flew right off. You probably don't need to clip these. They're only connected by 1. And I should probably be using this little dish as well, even though it's red. And we can get them all in there. There's one for the motor as well, so you might as well just take them all off. And then here, right there, you're going to want to put that in right there, like so. This one does have a little bit excess on it, but it should be okay. It does sit nice and flush. Like so. Alright, and then you're going to want to get some grease on the little holes, because that's where it's going to be spinning when your wheels spin. So it's good to have those nice and lubed up. Alright, so this is going to be the front of the car. So with the FMA chassis, the front is always going to be a little heavier. A little extra lube, hopefully that doesn't pop the tire off, so you can wipe that down, give it a little in and out there, and then get the tires lined up like so, and just push down. So these ones, we'll see when we put the motor in how smoothly they spin. And we got this popped out, so we'll put that back in as well. But you do need to put that in before, because this will go over the top of it. That'll keep it, help keep it down. And then through there, through the gear, and through the other side of the bearing. And then you want the larger ones on the back, so you can see that it's a little wider in the back than the front. And then you just push it down, and it should sit relatively flush. If that pops out, then you can just put it back down. So if you hold it with your thumb, spin the wheels, just make sure everything's in there, nice, running smoothly. That looks pretty good to me. Alright, so now that we got the wheels on, we're going to get, apart from here, we're going to get A2, which is this one. Clip that one off. Alright, and what we're going to do is get this right in front of this. You can see how this kind of curves up, and push it into place, nice and stable right there. Okay. So it looks like next up we'll be doing the motor. So here we want this one. This is A8. Get that clipped out. So for this, you want to take this piece of the terminal, and you can see there's a little hole right there on the side that clips into that right there. So you want to put it underneath here with a little nub and clip it down on this side over here. And if you're not a complete moron like me, you'll get it first try. Huh. I don't think I've ever had a problem doing this. I guess there's a first time for everything. Hold on. Okay, yeah, it was on the wrong side. That was totally my fault. So it should be over on this one. And the other one goes on the other side. This one threads through the top here, and then clips down over on this side, like so. But now this one doesn't want to stay in place. I might have to get the tweezers out. Actually, I should be able to just bend that back down. And hopefully it fits a little more snugly this time. There we go. Looking great. Okay, so now we take the motor. We already got the cap on. And where it's flat here, line it up with the motor where it's flat as well. And you just kind of snap it on like that. Nothing too crazy. I'm going to flip this over. And what you want to do with this, so the batteries go here. Obviously these are going to connect to the batteries. You want to take the little black piece right there and slip it underneath that part right there. And then that should snap down like that and look like that. So remember that has to go under there or else it won't sit down. And then we can take this piece here, this looks like it's A6. And this will cover the motor. So you just push down like that. It clips in with this right here. If you ever need to get to the motor, you just push up here and that will pop off, and then you can swap out your motors if you want to put in something different than just the standard stock white motor. Alright, next up we'll do the plates. So this one is A11. So what we're going to do is flip it over, and is it on this one? It goes this way, and we're going to take 4 screws and just screw that down. So put this screw in there. Oops. Drop it like I did. I like to put the screw down in place first and then get the screwdriver, because somehow if I just put it on the screwdriver I always end up dropping it but it looks like I do it with without the screwdriver as well. So we get that lined up. So that's not in. So just get it through there and then line it up with the hole. Start screwing. Don't go all the way. Then get the other ones lined up as well. And I like to get them all in just a little bit before I tighten them all the way down, just to make sure everything's in place and it's straight. Perfect. And sometimes it's a little hard to get them in these. I don't think it helps that I have big fingers either. Alright, now we'll get those all screwed down. Alright, now that all those are secured, we can go on to the top part with the little shaft here, and then the gear and the bearing for the gear. I might actually clip this one up a little bit better because that sits on the inside this piece right here. So what I like to do is just put it on the table first and push down on it. It usually goes in smoothly, but that didn't work out that well. Great. Now you can take that and just slip it on. There you go. It should sit flush with that, and then you can put a little bit of grease in there as well, because that is one of the rolling parts. And then on the opposite side from there, so you can kind of get that lubed up a little bit, and then from the nub outside, I just stick that right in there. And then up here, there's a little hole right there, as you can see. You want to get that back part of the shaft into that hole. Right back here. Or is it the other way around? Now I'm questioning myself. Okay, we need to put on this part first. A3 actually. I'll get that clipped out. And get this in there right above the motor. But it looks pretty cool. I think this black and red and yellow looks very nice. So yeah, again, I knew it looked a little off. I don't know why. But here you actually do this one. So the long side is facing the motor. So that was my mistake. And you got that little hole there, so you want to slip it in the hole and then pop it down. It's a lot easier doing it when you're not on camera. There you go. So that should sit right next to the motor there. And when you turn this should actually turn your tires. So all of this is connected. Yes. And then there's a cover part for this as well, which we need to cut out. On this one, it is a 5. I'm not sure if they're all the same. I never really thought about it. But once you build one chassis, I'm pretty sure all of them are the exact same. So with this, you got a little nub here, and then you also, it's kind of difficult to see, but here there's a little arrow, and there's an arrow right there. So you want to line those up. So arrow, arrow. There's a little indent on the backside here for that little nubbin to go in. And then it all just kind of clamps down on itself. Once you get everything lined up properly. There you go. You see how it goes down and then kind of clips over. So this part, and then the two arrows are facing each other. And then when you want to take this out, you can just pop this off the same way. Well, I guess the opposite way. So it should look like this. And now everything is connected. We've even got the on and off. At this point, what we can do is get some batteries. So I have some batteries right here. Hopefully they're charged. I don't remember if I charged them last time. And you make sure they're plus and minus on the right side. Hold them down and then you can just hit on. There you go. And axles aren't perfect, but they're actually not too bad. And once they start going at speed, it shouldn't be too much of a problem, especially with this stock car, unless you're gonna like use it in an actual tournament race. Then what you'd want to do is buy new axles, and then yeah, you got to make sure that they're perfectly straight, and that will actually help you quite a bit. Okay, next, what should we do? Let's see what the instructions, where the instructions tell us to go next. Next, they want us to put on this, the rear brake. It just sits right there. This one's pretty easy because it actually is kind of convex and concave, so you can just plop them right on like so, and they won't move around like this part does. And you know what I just realized? There's one screw too few. So I'll get this one started so I don't have to push it back in again and hold it down. And then I'll go find another 5mm screw. Alright, got a screw. Wow, that would have been really unfortunate if this was your first car. Because I don't think you can buy just one screw. I wouldn't want to go out and buy just one screw when you're paying like $10 for a car. Everything's there, and then there's just one screw missing. That would be extremely frustrating. If this was my first one, I'd be freaking out. What did I do wrong? Where did I go wrong? But this is actually the first time I've ever built one of these and had a part actually missing. Alright, so I tried looking around. I thought maybe I dropped it or something, but yeah, definitely missing a screw, which is very, very rare for these. That is crazy. Or maybe I only needed 2 screws for this instead of 4. So if there's another part where I actually need a screw, or maybe they just had 1 extra, so I only needed 1 or 2 here, 2 here, and then 1 extra. So that could be it. I guess I could check the manual, but I don't think that's needed. Alright, next we're going to do the rollers. So we got the rollers here. Get those clipped out. Rollers might be a good idea to make sure they're nice and smooth. These will go up against the wall, so you can clip off any extra plastic. Alright, and then we're going to take some of these roller screws, so we need 1 for each side and a washer. So you get these little baby washers and then this little roller screw. And these are going to go on the outside back here. So this is going to be the divoted end down. And we'll need a little bit of grease for this as well. So you can lube that bad boy up. A little extra grease on the table. Drop it in like so, and then we need the washer on the end here, and then we will get that screwed in right there. So hopefully we can do this in one try, because I am notorious for not getting that in right. Okay, looks like it's good, and the screw's not straight. Perfect. So I'll get that screwed out and then drop it back in straight. Then we'll do the same thing on the other side. It's not all the way screwed in yet, but I'll do that in a second. I feel like it's just easier to get all the screws done at once. Might just be a personal preference. And then once they're on there, you can start spinning them a little to get that grease all the way around. So get that lined up and have it move out, and then the washer will fall. Great, good job. That is not right. And again. Very nice. Good job. Good job, me. And once we get that going, we can sit it down. There we go. And then screw these down. There we go. It spins nice and good. Maybe a couple more screws. Just to make sure it's spinning. Usually they sit quite flush with that. And you can see on the other side we haven't done that yet. So I'll get that screwed in as well. Maybe one or two more, just for good measure. As long as it spins smoothly and isn't jangling around too much, then you're probably good to go. And I don't think you can overscrew these because they are how they are set. They do have that little part right there that pretty much stops you from it. And then we can move on to the battery cover. You can just pop that off. Not a big deal. So a battery cover, you just place it on top and wait, what? Yeah, so you can see it goes down, so you push it in and then down, and that holds it in place. And when you want to take it off, you just push, pull back, and then down. Very nice. Liking the way this looks. Okay, and then for the front rollers, we're going to do the same thing. These rollers look a little bit different than the back. Trim off the excess if needed. This one actually came out quite clean. And then we take the same screws and do the same washer combo. So I get a little bit of grease on there, here, and then washer, and then just line that up on this outside eyelet. Try and get it all into place and start screwing it down. Maybe I'll do this one by hand to get it going. Oh my. This is not turning out very easy. Yeah. So this is why I prefer to show this in the full process, because it might seem easy and you might think like, wow, I'm really stupid that I can't get this done. And who knows, maybe I am. It might seem super difficult and you might think it's just you, but it's probably not. So you can try different ways to get everything lined up, get the screw going. Again, I'm hoping I'm not the only person this is like it, but that this goes like this with. And now that I've got a camera on, it's even harder. I'll try the smaller screws. So some of the other sets, they come with these little tiny screwdrivers. And I actually have a set of drivers. It might just be easier to hold all of it in place at one time. And then you can go in with the longer screwdriver to get a little bit more torque on there. And yeah, there we go. So yeah, same thing, both sides. Skipped ahead. Didn't need you to watch me fail again, but of course, when there's no camera running, it goes fine. So yeah, we got all of the rollers on. You got the motor in place. You got the wheels in place. It's looking like it's getting pretty good to go right here. And I did look at the instructions. It only says you need 2 screws here. So yeah, there was 1 extra. Or 2 extras. 1 extra. And then also there's an extra washer, which I could actually take this bearing that I had in the cup from before and put that in that little part that connects to the motor, and then throw a washer on top, and that actually helps it run a little bit smoother, I think. Okay, and now we can get to putting together the body. So again, you can plop it off like that. I feel like it tends to leave a little more of these little nubs on it. Again, these probably don't affect it greatly, and that's small enough that I can't even get the clipper on it. And then we got the front bumper part. There you go. And these all just clip together pretty much. And crap, I just cut that. Oh my god, that is so stupid. Oops. So this should actually look like this, and I just cut that off. Good job. Good job, me. So that's what we have super glue for. Wow, I can't believe I just did that. So I'll get some super glue on that in a little bit. All right, so this part connects to here like this. So I don't think it'll be the end of the world if I just get that in there and super glue it back together. Wow. Okay, so I guess we will super glue that down for now, and then I'll bond it up and get that reconnected after words. Good job, me. So be careful when you're clipping these pieces, because you might clip the wrong part. I guess at least it wasn't my finger. There we go. So we got all the pieces out here. And then my least favorite part of all these, putting the stickers on. I feel like every toy in Japan comes with a sticker sheet. I did have super glue here, so we'll get that glued after the stickers get on. For this, there isn't a lot of super small ones. A couple, you can get the tweezers out. Tweezers do help with putting the little tiny stickers on. It looks like these little, like that little black one will probably go somewhere right there or on the side. I'm not sure, but we'll figure it out. So we'll just start with whatever looks like it goes somewhere. So we'll start with number 19. Wow, there's a lot of stickers on this one. So 19 goes on the side here, I believe. Just below there on this side. One good thing about these is, even if they're not perfect, I always say this, even though I like to get them perfect, that one obviously isn't, Once they're on, there's so many of them and it's so small that no one will probably notice if it's a little bit off. That one's pretty much perfect. You can see that one up a little bit. You can pull them off and put them back on. That definitely does adhere still pretty well, even if you pull it off and put it back down. I haven't seen a whole lot of problems with that, but you probably want to get it on perfect the first time. So we can do number 25. This goes on the front here. The G. That is way off centered. And you can kind of check it out first, and if you don't like it, adjust. You don't have to place it fully on until you like where it is. And we'll just keep going. Got these little ones here. 37. Where's 37? 37 goes right here. But they are pretty much outlined perfectly. Maybe we'll use the tweezers for this, because it is a small one. These small skinny ones tend to be the most difficult to get in place. And now it's way too far back. I'm not on it today. There we go. And you can use your nail or even the tweezers, if you got tweezers, to kind of set it down there a little nicer. So what I like to do is just get it in like a general vicinity and then take the tweezers and make the smaller adjustments afterwards. There we go. Let's see, let's just do these ones. So 39, it looks like it's either on the back or the front. It looks like a light. 39, I do not see 39. It could be on here. Yep, it is on the front. Right there. So it looks like with this one, yep, 39. And then this one will be on the other side, number 40. This one you can actually choose between two different styles. I just went with the first one I grabbed. No particular reason. There we go. Let's do just this whole front piece first. And then we have number 32. 32 is here. And 32 goes on this side over the broken piece. Is that even correct? And try and line it up with the front part right here. Maybe that will sit a little better. And it does. And then we'll do number 31, since it's the mirror side. This one will probably sit a little easier because the piece is actually there. And clip this one off. There we go. And then 28 and 27 are the big pieces on here. Just go right on top. And you can line them up with the little corners. Again, they are cut out pretty well for it, making it quite easy to see. And this part you can actually paint silver, I think. I don't know, it says painting somewhere. But yeah, so 44. So this one actually has two 44s. I don't know if that just goes straight on and then wraps around or what. Try it like that. There you go, wrap it around the bottom. And then here and here as well. So hopefully that super glue is going to be enough. If not, we can get some bonds and get that on there as well. Okay. Next we have number 26, which is the bottom part of the G. Hopefully that lines up well enough where it doesn't look goofy. Because the G is not straight or something. But I guess we will find out. Alright, so that's the first part done. It should be like that. Okay, and let's do the rest of the body. So you got these little silver guys. So this one actually has a little indent in it, this one does not. Makes it easier to tell which side for which. And here as well. Should probably be looking at this little cutout part to see where to place it. Makes it much easier. Alright, and we'll keep going back. I guess you could either do the silver or this color, the black and red. Just like the front, you can do different types of lights. Pretty similar. Again, just a little style preference for you. Okay. Next we'll do, what is that, 33 and 34. These look like they go here. And right alongside those silver ones you just put down. Get those lined up. And we can put on the windows. We got number 4 here. And I think honestly, if that one part doesn't glue down very well, I might just clip off the other side. Not too happy about that, but it is what it is. It was my mistake. I cannot change it now. All I can do is try and fix it. And if I can't fix it, deal with it. But I did like this one because it actually looks cool with that little part coming out. And then this looks like it goes straight down the middle. Boom. Okay. What colors should we do next? Let's see, where's 21 and 22? The next one's up. Or are those also the interchangeable ones? Yes, those can also be interchanged with this Brocken one here. So you can choose those or Brocken. All right, so we'll keep going up. We have number 29 and number 30. Those look like they go on the inside of this front part here. There we go. And we'll keep going up. Up, up, up. So those are the dupes. Number 17. 17 looks like it's probably going along right there. Let's see, what side does it fit on? This one. Is that right? That looks wrong. Actually goes on this side. Okay, now we see it. And so if you ever are in doubt, just look for something that looks similar to it. Close by. And you can see that there's kind of that zigzag there, and then there's a zigzag on here. Also goes just over this little bumped part. There we go. Okay. Next we'll do number 15. 15 goes off of this back part, lays flush right there. Just let that droop down to the side. Actually overlaps the other one a tiny bit. I guess you could fold it back over the back side a little. There we go, starting to come together. number 14. Where is number 14? There's just a random little black patch. And that looks like it goes right about there. There we go. All right, and then we have 10, 9, and 8. Those look very annoying to put in. But they do line up with these little ridges right here. Just make sure we get them on the right side, the right angles. These tweezers are slightly flimsy, but that is okay, they still work. But they don't always get things gripped too well, and they don't really let go that well. And it's kind of hard to get under this first part of the sticker because they flop around a little bit. But they seem to be, they've been doing okay so far. Haven't seen much of a need to get new ones yet. Alright, and there we go. It wasn't quite as bad as I thought it was going to be. These ones, oh yeah, they're a little longer. Fit a little bit differently. So just can line it up with the curved part of it. Oh no. So again, that's where the tweezers do help with little micro adjustments, and then getting these tiny stickers up off the sheet as well. Okay. There we go. Alright, and then we have number 1. This looks like it goes in the back here. Here. And you got the little holes back there, so I'm assuming the hole. Yeah, definitely the wrong side. The hole can help you line it up a little better. Yeah, sometimes when you're putting these together, you think, oh wow, that looks like the left side or the right side. But I think they just do it for the efficiency of getting as many stickers on as possible on the smallest sheet possible. So as you can see, the left side and the right side are different than the actual car. Okay, what else do we have? Number 7. Looks like it goes in the back here. Dr. Ogami R&D. So I think these are actually from an anime. I'm not sure what the anime is, and it might actually be connected to these cars. If I'm going to be completely honest, I feel like I've seen that somewhere, but I'm also not 100% sure. And let's see, where's number 6? I do not see a number 6. And that is probably okay. I'll double check everything. I could not find the life of me for where this FMA logo goes, number 6. But I don't think it really matters too much. So yeah, let's get this put together. So these, I'm hoping there's not a specific side they needed to be on, because I didn't look at the number when I cut them out. It doesn't sit in too well, but yeah, they look exactly the same. They both clip in. They do have a little wiggle to them. I think it should be fine. And then this should go on like Tamiya, like so. And I think it should actually be locked in with that, but without having both sides on, it's not locked in that well. And then we had one more piece from here, and that is what actually gets the chassis and the body together. So we'll ignore that for now. Get that placed down. Ooh, that looks pretty cool. Man, I wish I didn't break that off. Now I feel like a total idiot. So that front part, there's a little gap right there. And you can see that if it's in properly because of that. And then you just take this on the back, flip it over, and yeah, if you got batteries in, turn it on. And there we go. Pretty cool looking car in my opinion. So I'll be doing more builds, hopefully not cutting off pieces that I don't need to. And we'll get this glued back on and see how it goes. Alright, so we got this glued down. It looks actually way cooler than I thought it did in the pictures. That is a pretty sweet car. This would be a nice one to tune up, I feel like. I have another one that I'm actually going to do first, but we'll see how that goes. And yeah, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We'll do a little bit of test runs and then review on how this goes. So thanks for watching, and if you want to subscribe to see more, we got a lot more cars to build, and yeah, see you next time.